What's up guys, Blue here, and today I will be showing you how to build a helicopter. Okay, so first go to blocks, then go down to half blocks, and then select the half block. Then rotate it so it's like facing up, like on the upper side, and then you're gonna place 3 of them in a row. 1, 2, 3, and make sure they're facing forwards like that. Then go back to half blocks, select the half wedge down 1 by 2, and then rotate it so it faces forwards. So then the arrow on the back goes backwards and it's like kind of like on the upper side. And then you're going to place it right in front of those 3 half blocks, just like that. Then you're going to go back to half blocks, select the half wedge down, and then rotate it so it faces backwards, just like that. And then the arrow should point forwards. And then place it right there on the back. So now you should have this sort of shape. Then go to the kind of like the gears section, go to ballast blocks and select the ballast block. Then place it right on the front here, and then you're going to configure it with the configure tool. Configure it and set its density all the way up to 10. And if for some reason the slider isn't working, you can always just click in here and type and put in 10. Then you're going to go back to the block section, select wedges, select half wedge, and then rotate it so it faces like kind of forwards with that thick bit at the front, and then the arrow points backwards like that. You're going to place that right on front of the ballast block, just like that. Then you're going to get a main pilot seat. Well, you're going to go to this light bulb section, select the main pilot seat, rotate it so it faces forwards, and so the arrow faces forwards like that, and then place it, so count from this ballast block here, 1, 2, right there. And then it should be kind of like lined up with the center of mass here. Now what you're going to do is just color this with any color. I'd say you could just do 50, 50, 50. That's what I usually do. And just color all of this, just so you know this is what you've already placed down and it doesn't get like confusing when you're building it for the rest of this. Okay, so now go to blocks, select wedges, select the wedge 1 by 2, and then place it right on top of those 2 blocks, just like that. Then you're going to go to the piston section, go to jet engines and select the jet engine. And you're going to rotate it so it like the angled part is at the top and it faces downwards. And then I guess there's really no arrow on this one, or it's in the ground. So then you're going to place one in front of the main pilot seat, behind it, and then rotate it on its side so it points forwards. So the arrow points forwards, and then place 2 right there, just like that. So this one should be facing down, down, and then these 2 should be facing forwards. Then you're going to configure this one. So you're going to leave it just like this, but turn on on-off mode, and then copy this configuration. So then you can close out of that, and you're going to paste it into all 3 of these. So you can either just go in here and click that again, or you can just paste by pressing V if you copied from the previous ones. So go ahead and do that for all of them. Then you can go ahead and paint again to keep track of what you've already placed. And you can do this however often you want. You don't have to do it exactly when I do it, but it just helps with keeping track. If you don't have problems with keeping track of like which blocks are where, then you don't have to, but I recommend it for beginners. So now go to the block section, go to wedges 1 by 2, and then rotate it so it like points backwards and the arrow faces forwards and it's upside down. And you're going to place it on the back here of the jet engine right there. So it should look just like that. Then go to blocks, select the block, and put it on the very back of that wedge on top of it. Then you're going to go to cylinders all the way down here, and then select the cylinder and then rotate it so it faces backwards, and the arrow can be like rotated like this in any orientation, as long as the cylinder's in this rotation. Then you're going to place 5 off the back of this block right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. And here I'll paint it just to make it easier to see. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to go back to the block section, select helium blocks, select the helium block, and place it on the back here. Then go to wedges 2, select the round wedge out, and rotate it so it's like that. So the angled part, or like the curved part, is facing backwards. Then you're going to place it on the back of that helium block. Then you're going to place it again up here, but you're going to rotate it so it's the opposite. So you can just press T twice to rotate it like that. And then place it right there. Then you're going to go to blocks, and then select the block, place it on top of there. Then you're going to go to the wing section, delta wings, delta wing 1 by 1, and then rotate it so it kind of like faces forwards and the arrow is pointing backwards. And then place it right on top of there. And it'll kind of block it with the center of lift marker, but it's still there. Now go to control surfaces, select the control surface 1 by 2, and then rotate it so it's like facing forwards and on its side, like this. And then you're gonna hover over the back of this block and then place it. There's a chance that when you hover over it, it's gonna do this instead. You just have to either hover over the back of the wing panel, the delta wing panel that you placed earlier, or you can just press T twice and then R twice, just like that, to rotate it properly. Then you're going to use the configure tool and configure it and set it to 0 and 0. Now this doesn't have to be 0, 0, it's just I set it to 0, 0 because that's a key I know I won't press. Because you want to set this to a key you won't press because you aren't going to be actually controlling this panel right here. So now go to delta wings, select the delta wing 1 by 2, and then place one on the side of this curved wedge right here. So right there, going off to the side, then flip it, and then on this side too. Then you're gonna go to control surfaces, control surface 1 by 1, and then rotate it so the white part is facing forwards like that. And you're gonna place it on the edge here, right there, and then same thing for the other side, like that. Then you're gonna configure it and set lower surface to S and raise surface to W. Then you can copy it and then paste it over here. And if copy paste isn't working, just type it back in WS, just like that. Then you're going to go to the piston section, select propellers, select the propeller engine, actually the small propeller engine, the small one, not the normal one. And you're going to rotate it so it faces to the side like that, to the right, then place it right there, and then right there. Then you're going to configure this, the left one, and set it to D increase, A decrease. And then you're also going to select on off mode. And copy that. Actually, you don't have to copy this because we're going to be changing it, but then put it in here, paste it, or paste it and then set it to AD. So you're going to reverse it. So the left one should be AD, and the one over here should be DA. So D decrease, A increase. And then for this one, it's the opposite. But you keep on-off mode for both of them. Now, you're going to go back to the front and go to the block section. Select the wedges one, or just the wedges section. Select the wedge 1 by 2, and then rotate it so it faces forwards with the arrow pointing backwards. And then place it on top of this jet engine right here, like that. Then you're going to go to blocks, select the block, and place 1, 2, 3 right behind that wedge. So 1, 2, 3. Then go to wedges, select the wedge 1 by 2, rotate it so it faces backwards now with the arrow pointing forwards, and then place it right on the back here. So that should all line up nicely with a nice smooth shape. Now go ahead and paint everything just to like not get mixed up between the blocks, just like that. And then what you're going to do is go on this other side, select the wedges 2, the triangle wedge, and then this piece is kind of weird because you have to be very specific with how you rotate it, but rotate it so it's like kind of like this, so it points forwards and it's like angled. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but like make it so it's rotated just like this. So if I'm looking forwards, it looks like that. Then you're going to place one right on the side of this block right here. So there and there. And then you're going to press Y. so it rotates it on its side, or like so it's opposite. So now it faces like to the left. Then you're gonna place it on this side too, so just like that. Then you're gonna press Y again, and it should rotate it like this, upside down. And you're gonna place it right under that previous one. Then press Y one more time, and then go around to this side and place it right there. Then go back to wedges 2, scroll down, select the triangle wedge block 1x2, click it, rotate the piece, and then make it so it's upside down and or actually not upside down. So it's right side up and it faces forwards and is angled to the left. And place it right behind this piece right here. So 1, 2, 3 behind the second piece, right there. And then press Y 3 times. It should be rotated like this, pointing off to the right, kinda. And then place it right behind that part. So just like this. And then go ahead and paint that. And then go back to this side, select wedges, select the wedge beam, and then rotate it so it's upside down like this and pointing to the right, or like facing the right. And then select behind this triangle wedge right here, place it right there, and then same thing on this side. So you're going to rotate it so it faces to the right now, and put it right behind that. Then go to wedges, select the wedge, and place a wedge right behind that wedge beam so it lines up smoothly with the wedge beam. Same thing for the other side, so rotate it and then place it right there. Then you're going to go to blocks, select the block, and place 1, 2, 3 blocks, just like that, on top of the wedge beam and the wedge. Same thing for this side, 1, 2, 3, just like that. Then go to wedges, select the wedge, rotate it so it's facing to the left, right side up, and then 1, 2, 3, right on top of those blocks that you just placed. Same thing for this side, 1, 2, 3, just like that. Then go to wedges, wedge 1x2, rotate it so it's just like this, so it points backwards and it's on its side. It kind of faces to the left if you're facing backwards. And then place it right there. Same thing for this side, but flip it, so just like that, so it points backwards and it faces to the left. And place it right there, just like that. Then go ahead and paint all that, just so you know what is what, just like that. Then go back to this side, select wedges 2, triangle wedge 1x2, and then rotate it so it's like this, so it points backwards and kind of like is angled like to the left, or faces the left. Then place it right up here. Then press Y once, so it rotates it like that, so it's upside down now. And then you place it right there. Then press Y again, so it's like that. So now it points backwards and faces the right, but it's upside down. And place it right there. And then Y one more time, should face backwards still, but be right side up and faces the right. And place it right there. Then go to half blocks, select the half wedge 2, and then rotate it. And this is kind of weird because you're going to want it rotated like this. And make sure it's not like that, because it won't work otherwise. Because you can see there's a slight difference. It's hard to notice, but see, like the wide side is up when it's rotated like this, and then wide side down like that. You want it like this, not like that. So just like that. It's hard to explain. I'm not very great at explaining it, but like make it so you see the wide bit like on the side, not on the top. So then you're going to go up to it, and then you can see there's those 3 half blocks we originally placed. You're going to place one of these on the 2 end half blocks. So right there and there, just like that. So there's, hold on. So we got 1, 2, 3 half blocks, and then there's the pieces down there. You can also raise this up 1 block so it's easier to see, just like that. And then you're going to do the same thing on this side, so rotate it around, wide side on the side, and then place 1, 2, just like that. Then you're going to go to half blocks, select the half wedge, and then rotate it so it's you're going to rotate it so it's just like this, so it's upside down and faces to the left. And then place it right below those 2 pieces, for both sides. So it's like that. So it's kind of like a smooth shape. So if I were to color these top bits like that, they're kind of like that, rotated beneath them and connected. Then you can go ahead and paint those if you want. Then you're going to place one in the middle for both sides, like that. And then count off to the side of this one, the right one, go 1, 2, and then the left one, 1, 2. Same thing for the other side. So rotate it around like that. 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. And then go ahead and paint that. And go ahead and paint anything else that you missed. So I missed these triangle bits, so I'm just going to go ahead and paint those. Now we're almost done. All we have left to do is the blades. So this part, this is where you have to be careful, so pay attention. So go to the gears, the gear section, motors, motor. And make sure it's the motor, not motor 2. Otherwise it won't work if you select the wrong one. So motor. Then rotate it so it's right side up, so it, like the peg faces up and the like wide part is on the bottom. Actually, flip it upside down just like that. Sorry about that, but like that. So the wide part is on the upper side and the peg is on the lower side. Then you're going to place them right on top here, right in the middle of these 3 blocks. So one, and then another one right on top of it, just like that. Then for the lower motor, you're going to set it to, so configure it, and set it to Q and E, set the speed to 10, and leave the torque the way it is, and set it to toggle on. Close out of that. And the top motor, set it to E and Q, so it's the opposite of the other motor. So this one was Q backward, E forward. So then this one should be E backward, Q forward, the opposite. Otherwise this won't work in the blades. It'll just, if you don't do this part right and you don't like reverse it, it'll just cause your helicopter to spin and it won't fly correctly. And then the speed should be 20. And the reason why it's not 10 instead of 20, or why it's 20 instead of 10, is because since it's spinning the opposite direction, it has to go twice as fast to counter it, and which is what allows it to fly. So make sure the bottom one's speed is 10, the top one is 20. And the torque stays the same, and turn on toggle. So once again, the bottom motor has these configurations, and then the top motor has these configurations. And make sure these are exactly right, otherwise this helicopter will not fly correctly. Then you're going to go to the wing panel section, select the propeller blade, and then this part's very important too. It may, if you don't do this part right, it could just invert your Q and E controls, or it might make your helicopter spin. So make sure this part is also exactly right. So your propeller blade should be rotated like this. So make sure it's pointing the right direction. So like, it's hard to explain, but like, you see it goes down to the left like that, and we don't want it like that. You do not want it going down to the right. It has to go down to the left like that. So make sure it's rotated like that, and then place 3 in front of this motor, 1, 2, 3, and then do that on all sides of this motor on the bottom here. So rotate it, 1, 2, 3, rotate it, 1, 2, 3, rotate again, 1, 2, 3, and then rotate back to normal. Now for this top part, we want it to go the opposite direction. So not like this. Going the same direction will not make it work properly. So you just rotate it twice, so now it faces the opposite direction, and place 3, so it should be like that. So this sort of shape. So the top one points down to the right, the bottom one points down to the left. And then once again, 3 on all sides, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just like that. And then you can go ahead and paint that. Alright, and now the main controls and, well, the main helicopter should be done. All we have left to do is to paint it. But first, let's check and see to make sure that it flies properly. So press E and it should rise up just like this. And then if you hold W, it should go forwards. And it may dip down a little bit, but that's fine because eventually it will just straighten out. You'll notice it goes a bit to the left, and it just kind of does that just because of how the game is. There's nothing you can really do about it, but it's not that bad. Then if you press D, it should turn to the right, and A should make it go to the left. You'll notice if you do really sharp turns, it'll kind of go down, so you kind of have to be careful of that. Just kind of lightly tap if you want to turn, or get like a lot of altitude. And if you want to go up, just don't hold anything, but make sure you pressed E, so then it'll just naturally go up. And then you can start going again, and then A and D. S does not do anything. It can't really reverse, but because it's not really meant to. And then if you want to go down, don't press Q because it'll just make your helicopter do this, and you don't really want it to nosedive. That's not very great. Here, hold on, I gotta flip, hitting the train tracks. So let's say I want to land back over on the, actually let's say I want to land over here on this path. So make my way over here, and then you're gonna go ahead and just tap E. So the blades will stop, and then it just kind of comes down and lands, just like that. Alright, so if your helicopter did all that properly, then that means you built it right. So nice job. And if it didn't work, then go back and check, make sure you did everything right. Make sure your blades are spinning like this. So like, here, hold on. Let me get over here. So your blades should be spinning in opposite directions. So my bottom one, when I press E, it spins clockwise, and my bottom one spins counterclockwise, and my top blade spins clockwise. It may be kind of hard to be able to tell the difference, or like tell which one's spinning which way, but as long as they're spinning opposite directions and they're both spinning, then it should be all good. Alright, so if you do all that right, then you can continue and do the paint. Now this paint, you don't have to do it the way I do it, but if you want to, then go ahead. I'm going to be doing a green and black paint job. So you're going to do it the way I did, the color code is 100, 255, 100. Just like that. And it should give you a little green color. So then select the paint bucket tool and just click on the build, and it should turn it completely green. Then toggle off the paint bucket tool, so it should just show a little bucket, not a check mark. And then type in 50, 50, 50. It should give you a like black or dark gray color. Then you just color all these pieces. So these four down here that connect the, like, I guess the legs of the helicopter. And then you can paint the, kind of like the cockpit window, even though you can't really see out of it. Also, you do have the option to change that to glass if you want to. So you go to materials, glass material. And you can use either legacy glass or glass material. I prefer glass material just because I think it looks nicer. And then you can turn it all to glass. But I prefer just to use black paint because I kind of don't like seeing that like little jet engine in there. So I just make it here, let me turn it back, default. Oop. So I just make it, I prefer to just do black paint, but you can do whatever you want. So once you do that, now you go to the top and you color all of the blades black, just like this. There we go. And then I paint this whole back piece black, along with all this back here, just like this. And then I give it a little detail. So what I do is I select the color picker tool, and then I click on the green to select it, so it gives me the green color back. And then I carefully go in here and I select this piece right here. So it's like little green lines on it, just like that, on all three of those pieces. And there you go, you're all done. That is your new green little helicopter. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And make sure to join my Discord server to just hang out with other people that enjoy my content, and just talk with other people that also enjoy playing crazy. And also for contests if you want to participate in those. Well, that's all for today. See ya!